Like it.
So when are the pictures of you and I holding hands and hanging out in a hot tub gonna leak?
Well, when we officially book our getaway to Sedona, Arizona.
Got it.
And in the background, we'll be listening to the song.
Yeah.
Except we'll replace Tacoma with Sedona.
Phoenix,
Arizona, all the way to Sedona, which isn't really that far. Keep on rocking me, baby.
Keep on rocking me, baby.
But we'll give them a little more juice than this Russini Mike Vrabel thing. We'll give them something to take photos of, won't we, Tom?
Nipple. Oh, baby. We here.
What's that?
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is G. B. S. That's what it is. Man, buddy, have we ever been deeper in the offseason before a draft?
No, this is the deepest.
We came back on Monday, right? We missed some time. It was like, all right, we forgot to talk about JSN, being literally as soon as we went off, I was like, oh yeah, JSN became the highest paid receiver in the NFL, right? Good for him.
Yeah, that's not even newsworthy to me.
But now, we are a couple of weeks away from the draft. Everybody's big boards are coming out. Yeah. Mendoza's not going to be in Pittsburgh. He's going to be with his family. Makes a whole lot of sense.
Oh, you got Howard. I wouldn't draft him.
You see, he won't show up to Pittsburgh.
Fucking mama's boy can't even attend the draft. Off my big board completely.
Gone. Yep. Listen, they were right over at ESPN. They were right the whole time.
Yep.
We got Dexter Lawrence apparently wanting a little trade, saying don't want to be on the Giants no more, which is real interesting because that was there was rumors about that during free agency that maybe he was going to get moved, and I was like, I don't really know, but now it seems like there's some more fuel to that fire. We have scandalous news because apparently we're TMZ now, where you had the Athletics reporter, New York Times reporter, Diana Russini, spotted with Mike Vrabel, and they were they were sitting next to each other, like in a hot tub, and like there was another picture of them like holding hands. It doesn't look like the worst, but they're both married, and now a whole bunch of folks on the internet have gone through and been like, well, Russini has reported on Vrabel a few times, like after he got let go by the Titans. Russini came out with a report saying an anonymous GM said that people were just intimidated by his stature, that he was a very intimidating man, and people are wondering if Russini was now that GM. And so, apparently they are, according to them, this is a big nothing, and they were there with a big group of people and all that great stuff. They're both married, so that's what makes this extra scandalous. But
not to each other.
This is where we are in the offseason. This is where we are.
Here's the thing. This photo, fine. Just looks like two people who know each other chilling at the pool.
Yeah.
This photo, fine. Just two friends saying hello, giving each other a hug.
Yeah.
The thing that is going to cause some controversy in their own homes, the explaining they're going to have to do is initiating the hug with interlocking fingers as they come in. That's the weird part. I saw this. I was like, this seems like a bunch of nothing. I don't even want to talk about this.
Sure.
And then, I don't know. I don't think I've ever greeted anyone with interlocking fingers.
Yeah.
That's the that's the weird one.
Chase, only Perna and I, that's how we greet each other, with interlocking fingers.
Yeah,
but that's because we're co-hosts, okay? Like there's
because we have sex with each other.
Exactly. So,
but I just couldn't. I can't imagine. It's hard to understand. Mike Vrabel interlocking fingers before a hug initiates. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
I feel like this is like an AI photos attempt to make like a scandalous photo.
And
then it gets early AI where it couldn't do hands.
Yeah.
And it gets to the hands of the two, and then it just mushes them together. Because like, I don't know how to make that.
Yeah.
I haven't learned hands yet, but
that's also, people are looking at this of like, oh, we could just, because the Patriots are having an interesting offseason. It's an interesting time, but this just, I would have never had this on my bingo card for Russini and Vrabel, but here we are in April, desperate for football content, and this is what we have. And they both came out and were like, yeah, you're not looking at anything, like it's no scandal here, harmless. But I think if we see them
interlocking
each other at a Coldplay was it a Coldplay concert? Maybe it wasn't Coldplay. What was the one where those
CEOs?
people got busted for cheating?
Yeah, that's Coldplay.
It was Coldplay? Yeah. So if we see him at a Coldplay concert, then you know it's for real. But
is Coldplay in Arizona right now?
Might be.
Yeah.
Might be.
Because they like their story was they were both up there separately with a group of people, and they ran into each other there. And then whoever took these photos said they didn't see any other people around. So, because
they said that too. They were just like, oh, they must have just left them out of the frame, the group of people, and they're like, there were no people.
I don't like. This would have been way more fun if they were at like a Motel 6. If this was like a shady Arizona roadside motel.
They left the light on for him.
Yeah. And if there was a third person in frame, that would have helped. Any third person. Even if they didn't know him, Mike could be like, that's my guy, that's Jeremy, my friend, that I see in Arizona sometimes.
Yep. So the interesting offseason for the Patriots continues. We'll see how this one pans out. The starting Chiefs, oh my God, if they got Dexter Lawrence. Well, that's kind of the big story that's coming out about Dexter Lawrence wanting that trade. Because if they actually wind up moving him, he would be an insane addition to any defensive line that he joined. Yeah, the Chiefs would be. I don't think Brandon.
Why do we got to try and put every really good player on the Chiefs? Let's not even go down that.
Probably because the Broncos couldn't outbid them. You know,
man. We'll outbid them. We got.
Well, I mean, just saying with Kenneth Walker, he didn't. That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, we have that footage.
In their face, baby.
It's true. We have that footage of meeting for the first time. It's true.
No, Dexter Lawrence, if the Giants are willing to trade him, that is both literally a big piece and just terms of impact as a player, a big piece any team can add. One of the most dominant nose tackles. This is just funny.
I think so.
Pressures when aligned at nose tackle since 2022. Dexter Lawrence.
Can we pause real quick? How many tackles is that?
Pressures is 108 pressures since 2022.
It's 108?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Good. Continue.
Who's next? Oh God, you got to go to show more. Vita Vea, 32.
There you go.
DJ Jones, Bronco, DJ Reader. Got Jordan Davis in there. He didn't come in till a little later. I
think they were taken by teams.
But that's one metric to show you how dominant sexy Dexy has been. Where is his other one? Where is
Forbes Tavern on Forbes Avenue? Yeah, I'm not heading to the draft this time. It's unfortunately That's a YouTube thing. We found that out. Yeah, it's fun. Poutine. Okay. I had some in New Zealand. It was very delicious. It was very, very good. Forbes Tavern. Okay. I'm not going to go for the draft, but I'm going to be there in June. So I love Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's so cool, man. It's so great. Yeah. So Dexter Lawrence, because he's 28, I want to say, because he's definitely not 30. We'll do our research.
How old is Dexter Lawrence?
Yeah, he's 28 years old. Yes. Yeah, so he's 28. He's a monster, man. Like being on that D line, adding him to any D line is going to be a massive, massive upgrade. I'm very curious on what your thoughts are if he actually gets moved, right? Because he has, if I'm not mistaken, he has 2 years left on his deal, right? And it's a pretty like team friendly deal. He's due for a mega contract. You know, he's going to get at least one more. So if he winds up getting traded, you're probably going to see at least a 2-year extension on top of the 2-year that he already has. And he's going to get paid a crap ton of money. If you're the Giants, right, and you're kind of going through this, hey, we could be this wild card contender-esque team, you know, because we have a young squad. We're going to get some folks back from injury. You know, we're going to see Dart actually with Neighbors for the first time. Scadaboo's going to come back. Do you have that incentive to move Lawrence, who's an excellent player, like kind of like a Jalen Waddle situation, right? I feel like you try your best not to because the Giants are in a different place than the Dolphins. The Dolphins are like full rebuild. We're tearing it all down. You know, Waddle, by the time we're competitive, he's going to kind of age out. Here, I feel like you mentioned this last year, especially talking about the Giants defense, that they were your dark horse last year. I feel like this year there's a good possibility if everybody stays healthy that they can be contending for a playoff spot.
Yeah, I think Lawrence is too good to get rid of right now.
Let's go.
You've got a whole new coaching regime in there. It feels like Dexter Lawrence is the type of guy John Harbaugh would want on his defensive line. And that's like it's a position you could draft, but like finding dominant interior defensive linemen is not easy. So I think part of this I think stems from Dexter Lawrence and his frustration with the previous regime there, right? Like he's supposedly kind of been unhappy with the Giants for a little bit. He wants an extension. Yeah, why? He wants an extension, a new deal, or whatever. But he has 2 years left on this, so the Giants don't have to move him.
No, they don't.
I feel like this is going to be one of those long games of chicken that we're kind of talking about until August.
Yeah.
But like if a team really wants Lawrence and they're going to offer up what the Giants would accept, I don't know what an elite nose tackle even commands like for draft capital trades, because it's not a position we see get traded at this juncture in terms of like a blockbuster type
Unless it's
trade.
Kenny Clark for Micah Parsons with some draft picks.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and that happened in late August?
Yeah, it was August. Yeah.
And that's, Micah Parsons, that's a different position.
Yeah, I agree
Lawrence,
with you.
He signed a 4-year, $87.5 million contract with the Giants,
which has aged beautifully.
Yeah, 2023. The Giants this was their out year if they actually wanted to move on from him. And I think like if you're the Giants, you look at some of the other pieces you've let go. Leonard Williams been really good on the defensive front for Seattle. You've got Xavier McKinney in Green Bay, opposite side of the ball, but Saquon Barkley. Like, I don't think they can really afford to give up another really good piece to watch that player succeed somewhere else.
Yeah.
Figure out the contract.
I saw that.
Extend him, make him happy. And because that's a guy who, when you're talking about a dominant nose tackle, and people are worried because he had a half sack last year.
Yes.
So like but like your nose tackle's not even a guy you're banking on for sacks.
I mean,
They're
we just showed
eating
the
up space.
pressures.
Yeah, he had an interception. So he had a half sack and he had an interception last year. It's a really weird stat line. But I think like just and sacks were produced more from the edges. You like Brian Burns had a nice season. You drafted Abdul Carter. They could maybe trade Thibodeau. So maybe like thinking about your edge in the rest of that defensive line, like just keep the guy in the middle who's going to demand attention from multiple offensive linemen through the course of the year.
And like, especially with the progress of Abdul Carter, right? Like you want him to develop, like having Dexter Lawrence on your squad to take attention away from it. Like it is going to give him more opportunities, right? And if you're able to have like Burns and Carter and Lawrence like really start to hit their stride, that D-line is going to be disgusting. Like it's going to be really, really good. So for me, it doesn't make a lot of sense for the Giants to move off of him. And as you were talking about, the Giants don't have to do diddly squat. They got 2 more years with Dexter Lawrence, and they're the ones who control his fate. So they could just turn around and be like, sorry, no. And then it's a matter of he's holding out or not, right? So there's that. It also feels like there would have to be an insane offer for them to move off of him. Because as we were talking about on Monday, right, you look at this draft class and it seems more geared towards the defense. So, you know, they're probably not gonna be able to get a Dexter Lawrence, but they'll be able to draft, you know, who potentially could be his replacement. It would have to be, oh man, what are you trading for an elite nose tackle? Like, it has to be at least a first, right? Like for him, and then you're adding extra in there of like a first and a second or a first and a third. Like it, because again, the only reason why it wouldn't be more is because whatever team trades for him is going to have to give him an extension, right? And it's going to be some big time money. But I just feel like it doesn't make sense for the Giants right now, because they could, if Carter steps up and is that guy, that D-line could be real damn good this upcoming year. And if that offense shows some production too, it's your young players. What about it? That all being said, I will trade a 3rd round pick on behalf of the Packers for Dexter Lawrence.
A third rounder, sure.
Think about it, Giants. Just think about it.
Feel like you know, you're doing like a 2nd rounder this year, 3rd rounder next year, that type of shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really don't know what the trade comp is. We got NFL.com's landing spots are the Raiders, the Bengals, the Ravens, the Bears, the Chargers. Fuck, don't give him to Houston.
Oh my God, Houston would be...
Jacksonville would be fun. I think Jacksonville would be very fun. They were aggressive when they moved up to get Travis Hunter in the draft last year.
Sure.
But you put him on that defensive line with Josh Hines-Allen and the highly paid Trayvon Walker. That's fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Chargers really need him. Bears would make sense. Harbaugh trading him to the Ravens would just be funny. Raiders also makes sense, but they took a big swing on Wilkins, right?
Yeah.
Like, are they? And it was different. It was different GM that made the Wilkins move, right? That was not Spytech. That was the year before Spytech, I believe. Huh.
That actually was a. Hold on. Yeah, Wesley, that's a good point, right? You did have, because it was a 1st round pick and a 2nd round pick. And then it was also Mozzie Smith too, right? That they traded. So that was like the last time that you saw a defensive tackle, right? Like kind of go for big money. And so, yeah, I would imagine it'd be around like a 1st and a 3rd, 1st and a 2nd, somewhere around there. It's also the Cowboys, so you never know. But yeah. I mean, the Raiders, I don't think makes a ton of sense because they just completely revamped that defense and also got Max Crosby back, I feel like that they wouldn't invest this in him. They need to invest in the trenches on the other side, if anything. Yeah, Jaguars would be fun. Bengals would love to have him.
Bengals aren't going to do it.
I don't think they're going to do it, though. The Ravens
franchise that doesn't want to pay anybody going to go get Dexter Lawrence, who wants more money.
Do you think the Ravens would be like, oh, wait, never mind, for a second defensive player this offseason? That honestly would be fantastic. If they were like, you know what, let's give 2 first-round picks for Sexy Dexy, and then a week and a half later, never mind. I think so.
His physical, he weighs too much. He weighs too much for us. 340 pounds? I don't know. Yeah. I think like if the Bears were aggressive, that makes the Bears very dangerous.
I personally would hate that.
Yeah.
I would hate that.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing up the Quinnen Williams comp. I forget. But it's hard to compare a trade when the Cowboys are involved.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? Like, just because Jerry Jones gave up a 2027 first rounder for him, I don't know if other teams are going to do that for a defensive lineman.
Because Williams he's in his 20s.
But they're both
28. They're both 28. I mean, so I think the comp would be similar, right?
And they both played in the same stadium.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the exact comp right there. Maybe that is the exact comp.
Oh, yeah, that's the other story. We didn't have this in the rundown. HN also ETN, right? Didn't show up to first day of practice.
Yay.
Yeah.
But Lamar Jackson did, which is new.
There you go.
That
would be very, very interesting.
HN to Seattle? I don't think that's happening.
No, did I mix up the ETNs? I think I did. But to Seattle, yeah, I think they're just going to rock with Charbonnet and hope that he stays healthy. And then they have Emmanuel Wilson behind him.
Oh, I bet they'll draft somebody too.
Oh, Seattle? Probably. Yeah. We were talking about this on Monday. Miami, I mean, if you're going full-blown rebuild, man, I feel so bad for Malik Willis, man. If you get rid of... Oh, you already got rid of Waddle.
I'll bet they'll pay HN. They've got to pay somebody.
They got to pay somebody.
I saw a thing that said Malik Willis knew that they were going to deal Waddle in addition to like everything else. I still don't know why he would choose to go there if he knew that, but other than like them saying you're going to have a very long leash here, like you're our guy, we believe in you, but like that's a tough situation for an already proven quarterback, let alone a guy trying to show that he wants to be, that he's capable of being a long-term starter in the NFL. But
yeah, what's wrong with the Texans? Oh, I mean, it would just make that
it's too good. They don't deserve him. Their defense is already nasty. That's what's wrong.
I think they would put CJ Stroud in the secondary just because they wouldn't have to worry about anybody being able to pass the ball in case he wasn't able to rebound as a quarterback. Yeah, that's how good that D-line would be. Man,
that would be tough.
I hope the Texans do well, especially with Montgomery too. CJ Stroud has to have probably the most pressure-filled 2026 season, right? It's like, man, like you got to be that guy because that defense can go win them a Super Bowl right now.
Yeah, he's under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one.
Let me see if I can find this.
Ravens should send another fake offer. Exactly. And just go, oh, never mind. Yeah. If you could just make like blockbuster trades and the Ravens just keep doing it, and then the next week they say, never mind. It works. Nate, that's a really good point. Yeah, so Quinnen Williams, he already had a contract with term. Yeah, Sexy Dexy's going to get at least a 2-year extension on top of the 2 years that are already out. That's why I was saying like a first and a third maybe would make sense. Just for the position, but also he's just, man, being able to generate pressure in the middle as a Packers fan who has had really good nose tackles, right, in Kenny Clark, and we were just waiting to get someone with Kenny Clark. You had Devontae Wyatt in the middle, and we're just waiting to get somebody else. Yeah, it's a very underrated position, but if you can generate pressure even just with 4, holy God, does it make a difference?
Yeah, it's an important position.
Yeah.
God damn it, I can't find this chart.
Yeah, he's going to miss part of the season, Charbonnet, but that's why I also think they got Wilson, and they're probably just going to draft somebody later, I would imagine.
Yeah, Charbonnet is going to probably... There's a chance he could be out for all of the season.
It's potential. I hope that's not the case.
I mean, he tore his ACL at the end of the season. Now, they've gotten better at turnaround times on ACL recovery. So your best case scenario is he misses the first half of the season. And it's tough to rush back. And obviously, Adrian Peterson changed everybody's perception on what you could do coming off an ACL injury at the running back position.
Sure.
But like banking on him being ready to go is just something I don't think Seattle will do. It'll depend on outside of Jeremiah Love, right? Going early in the first round. Like,
yes,
there's the drop off there in running backs is kind of big. It'll be like, where does Seattle value taking their next running back? And they let Kenneth Walker go, knowing that already. So, like, I will be shocked if they don't draft a running back. Yeah. Right? You got Jadarian Price. Like, if he falls to the end of the first, maybe that's what Seattle does. But then, you know, after that, like, I don't know a ton about the running backs outside of that.
Yeah. It's that's, I would say, is my biggest concern with Seattle right now, because when they really started to get hot was that week 16 game against the Rams, where they were able to run the ball and like they had that comeback, and then they just ran the ball effectively for the rest of the season and postseason. So that would be my concern if they don't have that stability and consistency in the run game, if they were to repeat. Like, I think their defense is still going to be good. Their O-line, they're actually bringing back like their entire O-line, which when was the last time that has happened in Seattle? So yeah, that's probably my biggest concern for them. So I'm imagining that it's going to be a priority in the draft.
My concern is Sam Darnold just got married.
He did. Got 2 rings now.
That's
you're concerned about that.
Weight on his hands.
I don't think he's going to wear the ring while he's playing. Maybe he is, though. Maybe he's going to wear like the silicone one.
Still could affect his throws. Could really affect his throwing.
You should do a video on that.
Sam Darnold got married. The Seahawks are cooked.
Tracking QB stats after they got married.
Yeah.
See what you find.
Yeah, Darnold got married. Josh Allen had a baby. There's too many X factors to consider this offseason at QB. Mahomes coming off an ACL. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what are we going to do?
Ames Cam Jordan potential landing spots. The last thing I saw about Cam Jordan was that he might just wind up staying. But yeah, it was 3 weeks ago. Cam Jordan on his possible return to the Saints. If the Saints don't make sense, then we have to find our own path. So I think it just comes down to money. Yeah, I haven't heard any movement on Cam Jordan, though. I wouldn't be surprised if if he gets moved, it's a post-draft thing. Or it's like a draft day. Here you go. You know, it just makes sense.
No, it'll be after the draft. It's like Cam Jordan's at 36. You know, he can still, play and be effective. It'll be teams assessing kind of their needs post-draft. You look to the Sean Payton connection, obviously, in Denver. There's been talk there, but I like that like the first 2 articles that would pop up. Saints legend Cam Jordan hints at staying in New Orleans. Right below it, Cam Jordan doesn't sound like someone staying with the Saints.
Yep. Welcome to the offseason.
Welcome.
Where you could just publish any article and it might get traction. Oh, Joe Shane, definitely. Yeah, Howie Roseman, that number has been blocked for quite some time.
But if he wants to go back to New Orleans, they'll have him, obviously.
Yeah.
It's just going to,
I mean, how much longer do you think he's gonna play? 2 more seasons?
Some guys would play until they're dead.
Yeah, I mean, he's just 36, so like, I don't think it's gonna command a huge thing. So I could see like a late draft day one, or it's gonna just be post draft.
Yeah, he's got a. Does he still have the silver hair?
I don't know what his hair color is.
Does he still have the silver hair? That makes him look older. He's got to start to try to look younger at this point in his career.
Hello, fellow kids.
Yeah, 10.5 sacks last year. So,
he'll go to the Texans. UFL should try out a rule where you can throw the ball after an interception, but only behind the point where it was intercepted.
Wait, what?
Crazy idea. The UFL should try out a rule where you can throw the ball after an interception, but only behind the point where it was intercepted.
No, I think you should be able to throw it wherever you want. Could you imagine a corner intercepting deep downfield? And then you've got your edge rusher streaking towards the end zone and he just hucks it all the way across.
That's so you're saying it's just that's the line of scrimmage where he intercepted it.
Okay. I would say there is no line of scrimmage.
Yep.
They can throw it backwards. They can throw it forwards. They can kick a field goal. They could punt it through the uprights. Now that would be fun.
There you go. 25 for Lawrence straight up. I mean, the Bears would love that. The Bears would love that so much. I would hate that so much. I would not be happy. I mean, I don't think you take that, though, if you're the Giants, to be honest. I just don't think that that's enough of an incentive to move off of him. Because, again, the Giants have all the leverage here because we're going to leverage. But it's just they have him for 2 more years. They don't have to move off of him. Now, and I'm not even just saying this because I don't want him to go to the Bears. If you had a team with like a top 10 pick and they were like, hey, then maybe you're having that conversation. But as of right now, they have him on a team-friendly deal. They have him for 2 more seasons. He's a great player. And you also have up-and-coming players on that D-line already. And again, if that offense is able to gel, like if you have Dart and Scattaboo and Neighbors like really start to get things going and they have great chemistry, the Giants can win some football games in 2026. So I just don't think the incentive is high enough. And I also don't want him to go to the Bears. So.
Yeah, you know what would be wild is if the Rams at 13 gave away 13 to get Dexter Lawrence.
The Rams are like, we just don't care about draft picks anymore.
No, the Rams don't. Like the Rams, if they valued him, they thought he could help them win a Super Bowl this year. And they are in that window. They're in we got Stafford for another year, maybe 2. That would be fun. It'd be funny also if the Jets traded their pick from Indy at 16 to get him.
He just stays in the same stadium.
Just stays in New York. But the Giants, they pick at 5. And then they're picking at 37.
Here's a question. If you're the Chiefs, do you offer 9 for him?
No.
That's a big, here you go, but 28, I mean, your trenches automatically get a whole lot better.
I don't want to see him on the Chiefs.
You give away a bunch. It's a top 10 pick, but top 5 most important players for the Packers right now. Tucker Kraft has to be up there just as a blocker and also as a receiver. So him coming back healthy is going to be super duper important. Parsons, obvious reasons, Jordan Love with his consistency, but I would also Lucas Van Ness. His development is going to be really important this season. Just because, obviously we got rid of Rashawn Gary, who disappeared for the last half of the season, but we need him to take that step. And Van Ness had a nice season last year and before he got injured. So him, and then I'd probably say Devontae Wyatt's probably up there too. Wyatt's pretty high up there. Other Zach Thomas, that's 6. Zach Thomas number 6. But yeah.
Those are all players you guys gotta extend?
No, it's just the most important players. That was the question. So yeah. No, Parsons he's good forever. He's never leaving the team now, ever. So
he's not even gonna be playing, so
he'll be playing week 4. By week 4.
You think by week 4?
I think by week 4.
How did he tear his ACL? Who was he trying to tackle? Who was that? Was it Bo Nix? Interesting.
How's Bo Nix doing right now?
He's good.
He's good.
He is good.
It's good. Offseason's the worst. Miss my Bengals. Easier to ignore the head-scratching roster makeup when Joey B is throwing the ball. You know what? It is not to relate everything to the Packers, but regardless of what happened in the offseason, you're like, oh, we still have Joe Burrow. That's really nice. We still had Aaron Rodgers. So it's like, okay, we're still going to be contenders. What's going on with the defense? I don't know. But I think the defense will be better. I hope the defense will be better.
Yeah.
Also, you've got to hope that your first round pass rusher that you just drafted contributes.
Yeah.
That would be
nice.
That would be nice.
Better spot than the Falcons are in with theirs. But and Burrow, you just need him to stay healthy. Like that's a real problem.
Yeah, I mean
he's been hurt like more years than he's been healthy.
And I don't trust the O-line a ton. So, yeah. I mean, again, I like the Bengals, and I feel like the AFC North is going to be so weird this year because the Ravens, they went from when they got Max Crosby, I was like, oh yeah, like they're definitely going to win that division. We don't know what's going on with the Steelers. That we don't know who their quarterback is going to be, and they got Mike McCarthy.
They don't even know.
Now. The Cleveland Browns should have a good defense still. Don't know what they're doing on offense. And then the Bengals, I feel like there's potential there, right? There's always going to be that potential. I don't know who's going to win that division. I have no idea.
Probably the Ravens.
I would assume the Ravens. But
if Aaron Rodgers is the Steelers quarterback, I don't think they're going to win. If it's anybody else, I don't think they're going to win.
I think it's Bengals Ravens who are going to be contending for it. So, yeah. Oh, there you go,
Certainly
Sean.
Nobody's thinking it's the Browns.
Well, I still know what they're doing on offense, man. Like, their offense is just such a... Yeah, they got to figure out their QB. They have like 18 of them, right? They got to figure out their quarterback. They got to figure out how to move the ball effectively. You know, you saw some bright spots, especially at running back last year, but I don't know, man. It's time. He wants a new contract out. He plays without $30 million a season, so a sign and trade seems likely.
What?
I don't know. I feel like but that's the thing. If he just holds out, that's only going to impact him in a negative way. Like, again, that CBA that came out a few years ago, like they get charged a ton of money for sitting out. And I'm sure like Dexter Lawrence can afford a good chunk of that, but I don't know. I think it makes sense to come to a consensus with a really good player. And if you have to extend him for 2 more years, right? So then he would be 32, give him some more guaranteed money. I think he'll be happy. What do you think? You think the Raiders trade off number 1 because of Cousins? Absolutely not. No.
That would be the biggest surprise we've ever seen.
Absolutely not. Again, Kirk Cousins it's a multi-year contract, but it's basically a 1-year, $20 million deal. I think he's a glorified backup at this point of how they're going to utilize him. And he's going to probably be the starter in the beginning of
so he's a bridge. How dare you call him a backup?
Because after that,
he is at least a bridge, Tom.
Okay. Is it over troubled water? Yes. But
like a bridge.
You were talking about him not being a bridge, and you were saying he was a sacrificial lamb on Monday, which I agree with, by the way.
I didn't say sacrificial lamb.
Pretty sure you used those exact
I've never
words.
said that phrase in my life.
We can go back and look at the tape. But yeah, no, I don't think that they're trading off number 1 because of Cousins.
No, I defended the Raiders line. Remember? I said I don't think they're as bad as you said they were.
Yeah, but I think just throwing Kirk Cousins back there and going, let's see what happens.
I don't think that's what they're doing, but I think he already played with Cougs in Minnesota. He knows the offense. If Kubiak believes that's a good fit there, I think there's there's a solid chance that Kirk Cousins plays too well to even give up the job to Mendoza this year.
That would be a
And I
great
think the
problem for
Raiders
them
are
to
fine
have.
letting Mendoza sit for as long as he needs.
That would be a great problem to have.
That's their plan. Yeah, exactly. But and like you've got probably the two most nerdy, buttoned up dudes going to Las Vegas, which is just, I don't know. It is very funny to me. Like very religious guys, very we're not going to get into any trouble in this Sin City.
That guy.
Why? Like, I don't know. I think that's also funny to me.
Yes, it's a great pairing.
Is it? Are they too much alike?
Mendoza and Cousins?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
I don't know. Pilgrim's Road.
All right, so they got the Jets going edge.
This is Peter Schrager's first mock draft. He does two every year. He does his second one like the night before the draft.
Browns are
I
a
like
disaster.
that he only does two.
I don't even feel bad for their fans anymore. Change teams and just expect that you will get to watch your team when they're playing the Browns. Yeah, I mean, I do feel for Cleveland Browns fans because it's just every season, man, they're just getting punched in the groin over and over and over again. And that's the thing too. Like, I just don't trust the direction of the front office whatsoever, especially the ownership. Like, I don't trust any of that. So
I hope Deshaun Watson's starting week 1 for the Browns. That's where I'm at with this team.
Just throw him out there. I mean, you're already paying him.
Pay to play, Deshaun.
There you go. Have fun. Have fun. No, you got to
if Deshaun Watson leads the NFL in passing yards and touchdowns, would the NFL honors have the balls to name him comeback player of the year?
I think
if he gets the Browns into the playoffs,
we're in the twilight zone.
Wins a game or two. Hands down, the best QB in the league. Would they do it, Tom? Answer yes or no.
Oh, I think they definitely would. And that would be I think if Deshaun Watson has an incredible season, that would be more surprising than Phillip Rivers coming out of retirement to go and play a few games for the Colts. That would be more, because everything we've seen of him has not been good. Has not been good.
If that happens, I want Deshaun Watson to walk onto the stage, accept his award, get on the microphone, and say these words. Baker Mayfield was right. Kevin Stefanski is a bitch. And then just walk off stage. Wait, sorry.
Oh,
Steven Stefanski. Then he corrects himself to Kevin Stefanski. Boom.
There you go.
Oh, me go to jail?
Go to jail.
I'm not employing the man who should be in jail. How dare you? How dare you? I point out the hypocrisy and I'm the criminal? I'm the criminal? How dare you? How dare you?
Just have a close-up of Baker Mayfield just going, me?
And if that happened, would Monken win Coach of the Year? Would the Browns have 3 Head Coach of the Year awards? That would be a wild thing. A team that is just perennially terrible has 3 Coach of the Year awards because on the one year that they're good, everybody's like, holy shit, how'd that happen?
But they have to call him Tom Monken. They have to mess up his name again.
Every time somebody butchers their name.
Yep.
Sweet.
All right. So they got him going David Bailey. So yeah, their consensus is that they're going either Reese or they're going Bailey. That's what I've seen in the majority of them.
That's the only real debate right now in terms of like which edge rusher is actually better. They're both great. You got Reese and Bailey, and Arizona could do a lot of things at 3, obviously, but they do need edge help. And then this is where things get interesting.
So this is what I said weeks ago. I was like, man, I would be, I guess it's like a month ago now. Like, I would be very curious about Love going to Tennessee, because there was like a 3-game stretch near the end of the year where they had a consistent run game, like with Tony Pollard. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe they figured it out. But I don't know if you pass up. I think that for a young quarterback, they do need to go get offensive line, right? But yeah, you give him a dynamic runner like Love. I'm very okay with that. Also, real quick, can I just once again profess my love for Cam Ward? Even in the offseason, like every interview, he's like, I want him to succeed so much. He is just such an awesome dude. I really hope Cam Ward does well. Sorry.
Yeah, and that's like, are you going to, like, at 4, are you taking maybe the most dynamic skill player in this draft, or do you address your need of protecting that QB?
Exactly.
But maybe you're going to draft somebody top the second there. I don't know. And because if Jeremiah Love does not go to the Titans, you're making the argument for the Giants could consider him. And we know the Giants, in terms of drafting offensive linemen really high, like, that hasn't worked out, but you got Harbaugh there now. It's so tricky to me for the Giants. You have Harbaugh, but you still have Joe Shane. And I don't think anybody believes Joe Shane has the authority there anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
Browns, yeah. Offensive lineman makes sense. Sonny Styles, who had a very good combine, right? Really popped there. Washington adds the linebacker. Ruben Bain. I hope he's the best edge rusher. The guy getting criticized for short arms, that's my dude. That is my guy. And I kind of want the Patriots to draft him, so they got the 2 short arm guys. Will Campbell, this year's short arm guy, Ruben Bain, which I think has replaced hand size for knocking guys.
Yeah.
It used to be hand size, now it's short arms.
Pat McAfee's tweeting at you, by the way.
Oh, God, what'd I do?
Did you criticize SmackDown?
Oh, God, what'd I do? Oh, I don't remember what I said. Let's see here. How's he tweeting at me? What did I tweet?
It was about, you said, maybe I'm too old, but I can wait for Peter to get out of the car before I need to see him on the show. And McAfee said, live shows don't wait, brother. Definitely don't prefer it, but Schrager's mock is worthy of discussion on the program. We'd love his draft coverage. Cheers. Yep. If they trade him, John, I wouldn't be surprised if they go DL and try to get his replacement, especially if they wind up getting like a 1st-round pick for this upcoming draft. But yeah.
Yeah, this is my new pet peeve, though. Here, let me show.
Okay. You tell me.
I'll bring the mock draft back up, but let me talk about my pet peeve. Stop screen.
So, Joe, I just don't think Ty Simpson is... I don't think that the consensus that he's going up that high. And so I feel like if you wanted to nab him, you could later. But also I understand, like, he's a Manning, but there is no guarantee about Arch. So I feel like if you're the Cardinals, you are just trying to make the best team possible for whoever your quarterback is going to be. And that could be a year from now who your quarterback is going to be. They just need to kind of refresh that roster a little bit. Like, they have pieces, which I really like, but I don't think they're going to get their quarterback right now.
I'd take him at 30, 31 or whatever.
I'm saying, like, if he falls into the second and you're like, okay.
I'd take him. And then next year, if you're picking number 1 overall and Arch is the guy, you draft him again and then you trade Ty Simpson away.
Not like the Cardinals don't have experience with that.
They've done it. Yeah, this like why are we making our insiders do shows from the car?
That's what grinds your gears.
This is like, but it's like it's like Adam Schefter from his car, and he's going to be in studio in like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Like Schrager's going to work probably or going home from work. One of the two. I just feel like I don't need to hear Peter Schrager from his car. Like I can wait. And it's not just the McAfee show. I've just seen this so many times. I'm like, I don't want to see the TV guys in their car unless they're driving.
On the White House lawn.
If Peter Schrager was driving, then this is tight.
You just see like his phone is like through the steering wheel.
Yeah. It's such a and again, like as I've done before with McAfee, this is not a knock on their show. This is just the state of media. It's like we got to get him in here now because the news cycle is happening this minute. Peter Schrager dropped his mock draft. I'm sure he talked about it already earlier on ESPN, but we need to talk about it again on this show. And he's in his car right now. Where is he going? I don't know. I don't know where the fuck he's going. But it's Schrager. It's Schefter. It's Rappaport. Have I seen him in the car? Maybe. I don't know. It is an old, and I said maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe it's an old man take. But
get off my lawn.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
You know. How do I respond to Pat though, you know? A tweet only got 79 likes. So the fact that he saw that's kind of wild.
A lot of time on social media.
Yeah.
A lot of time.
He's doing a show too.
It starts in 8 minutes.
Oh, he's about to do a show.
Yeah.
That was 22 hours ago.
Oh, was it?
Live shows don't wait. I disagree. We're live right now.
We do plenty of waiting.
Nobody calls into this show from the car because they don't want to be here. And then not because of Tom.
Yep.
All right. Anyway.
Dex hates Shane and that he's keeping Dex from signing. Okay. Yeah. I mean, honestly, fire him just to keep Dexter Lawrence. Just for Dexter Lawrence. I think, again, personally, I don't think it makes sense for the Giants to move off him unless you're like, yeah, we're not going to be contenders this year, which I don't know. I think that the Giants have enough pieces, especially if they draft really well. I think that they have enough pieces to be considered like, hey, this could be a wild card team.
Yeah. I'm getting support for my take. Thank you guys. No more cars. Fuck cars.
Sports analyst in cars with coffee.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, all right. McAfee should be getting ready for Mania. Him, Jelly Roll, iShow Speed. Yeah.
Actually, Raishi Rice doing a live spot on McAfee from his car. I'll take it. I'll take it, Tom.
Did he do something else? I missed
you know.
Oh, okay. It's
do the show from the car.
Yeah, next clickbait, definitely do the show from the car. It has to be while the car is running in the garage too.
Yeah. Who stays awake the longest with their running car in the garage?
Hand on the clicker to open the garage door. All right, so they have them going Jordan Tyson.
And this was Schrager from the car, I believe, talked about this was the controversial pick. He thinks Jordan Tyson's going to go a lot higher than other people are saying, that he can't get a good read on where Jordan Tyson will go. So this was his, controversial take.
It'd be interesting. Yeah.
What's this? What's Numtot?
I don't know.
Oh, thank God. Whoo!
Sorry.
You're old too.
Yeah. Hold on.
Do we want to know what that is? Do we want to know what that is?
Let's see. New urbanist memes for transit-oriented teens.
What? I still don't know what that means.
Yeah, you basically want the strengthening of public transit over cars, which yes, I see rail in the U.S. Let's go.
Dude, I want Peter Schrager doing the spot from a public bus.
Now we're
I
talking.
want him on the subway with great signal. How about a fucking airplane? Can we Wi-Fi him in from a plane? Submarine? Ooh.
I don't know if that's public transit. You were doing well.
Put him in a submarine.
I don't know.
Just not with a billionaire.
Unless you're going to see the Titanic.
Yeah. Hot air balloon? Now we're talking. Okay.
You have to get through your mock draft before it reaches an altitude you don't have service.
I want him on the back of a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I want him sitting on the back of a Harley.
What about a sidecar? Little like Sean Connery, Harrison Ford?
Yeah, no, sidecar's kind of cool. Like I want him on the back with his arms around somebody driving, and he's holding the phone like this. And Mike Vrabel's driving the dirt bike or the motorcycle, the Harley. And everybody's like, why is Peter Schrager hugging Mike Vrabel like that? What kind of hugs going on between Vrabel and Schrager?
Now we're talking. I feel like for the Chiefs, like, yeah, but I want them to go offensive line, honestly. But, getting another weapon.
The Chiefs?
Yeah. I'd like them to go well.
Receiver would make sense. Line would make sense. Corner would make a lot of sense as well. So, like, I would bet if, Mansour Delane is the clear-cut number one corner, and he basically is on everybody's big boards, but that would make sense for the Chiefs at 9 if nobody else is going corner. Obviously, like a guy like Carnell Tate falling to the Dolphins there at 11, I'm sure they would be like, yeah, there we go. We can.
Malik Willis is like, thank God I have someone to throw the ball to.
Yep. Easy.
Be nice.
Now, if this happens, this is the worst thing that could happen for us in clickbait. Because we haven't done a show in like a month, but I think it was in January. Scooter's like, what do you guys know about Caleb Downs? How good of a safety is he? Should the Cowboys draft, like if they draft the guy he called out back in January, he's gonna be tough.
That's fair, K-Chen. Oh, I know you would riot. Oh, I know the fandom would not be happy about it.
Yeah.
But it's not a sexy pick, but yeah. Secondary would be. I wouldn't hate
I don't think they have to go line there, but
no, I wouldn't hate secondary. Be nice.
Mekhi Lemon. So you got 3 receivers going, right?
Yeah, they got pretty quickly.
You got 3 receivers
15.
going, and you got Schrader going out of order in terms of how everybody else kind of looks at the receivers right now.
Yeah.
Kenyon Sadiq to the Ravens. I don't like that because it just seems like they didn't utilize Isaiah Likely enough with Mark Andrews there. But
he shot up the draft boards after his 40.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's been
high,
like the number one tight end for a while, but he's probably more of like, a receiving tight end than anything. But because Broncos fans had their eye on Kenyon Sadiq for a while. And then,
oh my God, if he somehow, he's not going to, especially now you don't have a first round pick, but man, him on the Broncos.
The fear was when the Chiefs got this pick that they were going to be snaking a tight end from the Broncos who were picking at 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sadiq, you got Eli Stowers. But yeah, Sadiq to the Ravens would be fun. And I guess their offense is going to be a little bit different. I wanted him to go, though, where he's going to be heavily targeted. Like, I want to see what
he needs to basically become like the Mark Andrews of old, and they're just like constantly looking at him.
Yeah.
Which, like, again, it's not the worst thing. I don't think this would be the worst. It's just interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Omar Cooper Jr.
Yep.
Okay. You got corner in Tampa.
Need edge, too. Lions wouldn't be surprised that they go offensive line.
Oliavega.
Beautiful.
Really? Dude, that's going to be a hard one to say. Ione?
That's Ione.
How close am I? Ione?
Then you got, okay, yeah, they're going safety there.
Right.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Carolina, offensive line.
Man, if the Cowboys go, and that, oh, look, it's our draft pick. If they, the Panthers, I can see them going either side of the trenches, and I think that's the right move. The
Yeah,
Cowboys.
Sorry.
No, I was
If
gonna say,
you're getting the, like, who many think is like the third best tackle at 19, that feels like a good spot for Panthers.
got it. Yeah. No, and I feel like the Cowboys I feel like both of these are going to be defense, right?
Yeah.
Like they're just going to constantly load up on that because that defense just was putrid. So they go and they are able to get a good secondary player, good edge rusher.
Yeah, they're saying TJ Parker edge doesn't make sense. I disagree. If you have two TJs at edge, who's stopping you?
JT. DJ.
Alex Highsmith. Sorry, you just got replaced by another TJ. Yeah, I don't know if Steelers are going edge. I'll agree with that.
Chargers are just get all the offensive linemen just for, I don't care because somebody's going to get hurt. Just all of the offense. Every single pick is going to be offensive line.
My only thought would be this is if it is like your tackle's got to play guard as well, right? It's got to be a guy who can play tackle or guard. You want a starter on the interior. That's, you want to get better there. And then if one of those other guys go down,
have
you
that
kick him out
versatility
to tackle. Denzel Boston to the Eagles.
Give him another weapon.
See, I think Casey Concepcion needs to be drafted by the Chiefs, right? I don't think he can play for any other team besides the Chiefs. And I don't like that because a lot of people are really high on him. His issue in college was drops, but he had a very good combine. People love his speed, his route running, right? So I don't want that type of player for the Chiefs. But, dude, Casey Concepcion for the Browns.
Casey. I love them talking about Proctor. Proctor is a mass of humanity.
358 pounds.
It's a large man.
I want him blocking Dexter Lawrence. That's all I know.
I mean, because the Bears, they do need to address defensive line, but just confirming that their O-line is going to be taken care of. I mean, you saw what they were able to do with a good O-line last year.
Bills go defensive tackle. Yeah, they need that or edge, right? They just need help up front on defense.
The 49ers is, offensive line is a good choice.
Yeah.
It's a good choice.
Or an edge rusher. They need a guy, one opposite Bosa, and then also a guy when Bosa's hurt.
Yeah. Texans, O-line all the way. All the way O-line.
What's this guy's name, Tom?
Is it Ahina? I don't know.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
All right, so they go corner there, 29 for Colton Hood. That would make sense. We're going to give you a safety, huh, Miami?
Well, if they get because they had him going receiver earlier, yeah?
Yeah. And it's funny because we took their receiver, Waddle, and their safety, Brandon Jones, from a couple years ago, been great.
Hold on.
Oh, look at that.
Ihonachor.
Look at that.
Ihonachor.
I kind of accidentally said that earlier, right? Price to the Seahawks if he's there at 32.
I mean, it makes sense for Seattle, especially if you don't know Charbonnet and when he's going to be picking. Sean's like, I don't want a running back at 32. I know Seattle fans don't want to get him at the end of the first, but
why?
I get it.
Seattle fans should just be happy with whoever they pick at 32. You just won the Super Bowl.
Nothing could be wrong.
That's so nice.
Nothing could be wrong.
Somehow we're an hour and 4 minutes. Wow. Look at us.
Look at us. Look at us go. Perna, what you got coming out, bud?
I don't know.
Okay.
We're working on a college quarterbacks episode. We did Mendoza, Ty Simpson, and then we got one about the rest of the QBs. I just don't know if we're posting that today or tomorrow yet.
Got it. Nice. I got a couple skits coming out. I'm going to try to get it out today. If not, it's going to probably come out tomorrow. Yeah, I have a Kirk Cousins agent one working. So yeah, got a few things. But folks, we're going to miss like the next 3, but we'll be back next Friday for a little GPS, and then we'll be here through the draft and all that great, wonderful stuff. Going to powerlifting nationals. Let's go.
Holy shit.
You'll probably see me there.
Yes.
Yeah. Get there. But folks, appreciate the hell out of you. And we'll see you real soon. And then it's almost the draft. But folks, thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigated.
Speaking of navigation, no more reporters in cars.
The next time I do this show, I'm going to be in a car.